Our evangelical Republican Hope's daughter just gave the gospel a black eye, and we didn't even notice.
Everyone should be abstinent or whatever, but it's not realistic at all.
Terrific. It's time. Wretched. It is imperative that you use God's principle.
I actually go ghost hunting a lot.
Yeah, have you found any?
Yes.
Really? Don't satisfy yourself by saying, it doesn't matter. All will stay there anyway. Hello and welcome to Wretched. My name is Todd Friel. I am your host. The wretch the song refers to. Okay, you may recall some people, I don't want to use any names, some people said, maybe, just maybe, we evangelicals were just a little too quick to embrace one Sarah Palin. Not that, hey, you can vote for her, that wasn't the point, but you remember the deal? Nobody liked John McCain. Nobody was very excited about him, but all of a sudden this woman from Alaska, she's an evangelical. Now we love John McCain. And we gave a wholehearted, uncritical endorsement of this woman without ever stopping and saying, hey, wait a second, what are our evangelical priorities and principles that we defend regardless of the political fallout? Some of us were a little concerned that a mom with a, what would be a gaggle of children at home, maybe would be better staying at home, especially when you have a 17-year-old daughter who is pregnant. Something doesn't seem to be right at home, and maybe, just maybe, she's not all that capable of juggling being the governor of Alaska and taking care of her brood at home. Well, that aside for a moment, her daughter had the baby. The baby is healthy. We're thankful for that. But she was interviewed by one Greta Van Susteren. Apparently there weren't any gruesome murders that day, and Greta needed some fill. So she interviewed Bristol Palin, and, well, what do you know? Abstinence and the gospel took a thumping.
I think abstinence is like, I don't know how to put it, like, the main, everyone should be abstinent or whatever, but it's not realistic at all.
Why?
Because I don't want to get into detail about it.
Well, without you being personal, just big picture, not necessarily about you, but
because it's more and more accepted now.
Listen. Do you hear all of the evangelicals condemning that statement? Okay, just keep listening, and it'll be like the tree falling in a forest, and nobody's around to hear it. Nobody's saying, boo! Look, but vote for the woman, whatever. Say that she's just the bee's knees when it comes to politics because of her political positions. But to never be critical of somebody simply because they might end up being, ooh, our political strife, I gotta tell you something, we're paying a price for this. That young lady, representing her mom, evangelicalism, whether we like it or not, just said about the dopiest thing that you're ever going to hear, that abstinence isn't a reality. That doesn't trouble anybody. That doesn't give us pause to say, hey, wait a second, you better watch how you're representing evangelicalism. But the silence is deafening. Why? Because her mom might run in 4 years. Let's just take a little look-see at what Bristol Palin just said. Abstinence is not a reality these days. All right, let's go with that, shall we? Apparently, something has changed, because if you recall throughout the history of Christendom, somehow young women and young men were able to remain abstinent until they got married. Hey, what a kooky concept. So what's changed? Apparently there's more sexual pressure than before. Is there? Now, there could be more sexual images. It could be more difficult to shield yourself from these things. But come on, boys are boys and girls are girls. It was always difficult. Abstinence can be a reality if you are soundly saved and you desire to stay pure until you get married. Young lady, here, this is a deep theological statement for you. Give me a break. Give me a break. You didn't stay abstinent. That doesn't mean that other people cannot. It's been proven. It can actually happen. There's even kids who do it today. This just really kind of gets my goat a little bit, because I got to tell you, we are so willing to embrace a political champion without even stopping to go, what about the gospel? That statement that that young lady made, now we might not agree with this. There are Gentiles who are blaspheming the name of God because of that. We maybe don't put it together, but they do. Hey, says the atheist, isn't that the evangelical girl who got pregnant out of wedlock, and now she's saying nobody else can stay pure and chaste? Ha ha, those evangelicals, those Christians. You don't think that there's some mockery going on? And where's the evangelical? Will we ever scream? Will we ever shout? I got to tell you something. This to our shame. These people who are more liberal than we are, let's just call them liberals, are more passionate and more concerned about their ideology than they are their president. Got to tell you, all these people who are just thrilled about Barack Obama, campaigned for him, sent money, made commercials for him, as soon as he steps out of line, they're willing to throw him right underneath the bus. Why? Because they care more about their ideology than they do about the politician. Can the same be said for us? Can the same be said for us? Or are we more concerned about just winning the office than we are about defending the gospel and theology? Now, another question, and this one might be an ongoing one here at Wretched, and so I'm just going to throw this one out and let you figure this one out, what you do with this. It seems to me that now that we are in a post-Christian culture, which we are, I don't know if you've noticed it, but Christianity in the church is not the most esteemed institution in the country right now. Is it maybe time for us to change our tune? A lot, radically. Don't get me wrong. I believe that wherever my compassion is demanded, I will enter into that arena. If babies are dying, I'll get into politics whether I like it or not. But the question is, into what am I putting my hope? Am I putting it more into the political system, or is there something else I should be putting my hope in to affect change? And how should I go about doing that? When we come back on Wretched, how should we Christians talk? How should we speak in the marketplace of ideas? Is it time for a change? On Wretched.